Ooh.
Well, hello everybody. This is Scott Roberts here with Dave Prosper, and we are at ALCON 2022 here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we've been doing a lot of wonderful live streams, a bunch of young astronomers today, and I know that you are also very, very involved in educational outreach with Night Sky Network. And we've had run-in a couple of times. We were, which star party was it? It was the one in Colorado.
Rocky Mountain Star Stare?
Rocky Mountain Star Stare. So that was very
Okie-Tex.
Okie-Tex, right? So you've been doing this for a number of years. How did you get started with Night Sky Network?
Well, I'd say I was volunteering at the Chabot Space and Science Center.
Okay.
And the East Bay Astronomical Society, I was a member of that.
Okay.
I was the program director. I was
Oh, wow.
volunteering a lot.
Okay.
And I found it useful. I was like, oh, I had the little login for the Night Sky Network and get the newsletters and stuff. And I would go, oh, I can record the events here. And I can keep track of stuff for me and helps me publicize things.
Sure.
And also, apparently, it turns out you can record your volunteer hours in it. And
Okay.
I could get my outreach certificate that way, too, from the AL, which was great.
Oh, very cool.
So there was, I was working at a failing gaming company, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
It was a very interesting company. And I looked, the jig was up pretty soon. I was in operations. You can't not see it if you're doing it.
Okay.
And I ended up getting saw a job posting for someone that was familiar with some web stuff, a little bit of tech stuff, and I'd been in tech at the time.
Okay.
And also loved amateur astronomy. Also, interestingly, preferably not like an astronomy degree. Maybe you got like a liberal arts or English, or because a lot of writing would be involved too, which is kind of funny. And it's literally described me exactly. I had graduated from a college actually up in New Mexico in Santa Fe, and was just, oh, this is a job for me.
Cool.
Okay, and then they hired me.
And this was the ASP.
This was the ASP, which co-runs the Night Sky Network with NASA JPL, and that was about, I believe, 9 years ago. And
so
more.
If you don't know, the ASP is the Astronomical Society of the Pacific. They are over 100 years old. Is that right?
131 years old, I believe. Maybe 2. I got to double check.
I should know
It's
more about this myself. I was on the board of the ASP for a while. But as I recall, they get started with kind of a few people gathering for an eclipse.
In 1889, the New Year's eclipse, January 1st, 1889. And since we're talking and on video, I can't do the math, so I can say exactly how old we are, but you can do that at home. But it was it was in Northern California. Super north, because everyone calls the Bay Area Northern California.
Okay.
But there's also Northern California.
Yeah,
you look
at
a map, and it's like, well, that's in the middle. So we got Bigfoot country.
Okay.
Say, I think it's more. It was near Eureka, I want to say.
Okay.
And it was a gathering of professional and amateur astronomers working together, and they were like, "This is great. We should do this all the time. Why aren't we working together?" And that's and also just spread the knowledge, and that's.
There's been like some super famous people associated with the ASP.
Oh yeah. I was sort of a little stunned when they hired me. I'm like, I volunteer on the observatory deck. Thank you so much. What is going on?
That's awesome. It's a dream job, so that's very cool. So describe, the Night Sky Network and how it interacts with all these clubs across the country. What's it like?
So the Night Sky Network is a program that it's sort of a conglomeration of different clubs from around the country. And they're all clubs that are dedicated to outreach in their communities. Just, bringing like telescopes out or doing science demos and that sort of thing. And so the goal is to help publicize the events, kind of keep a record of the club events and organization in general. If clubs need some extra record keeping, we have some stuff that can help out with that, member management. But primarily it's just to focus on bringing astronomy to the public and helping folks even if especially folks that might be new to doing astronomy outreach, making it easy and non-scary to do that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, not scary. And that is actually an important thing you touched on there, because a lot of people are even afraid to walk up to a telescope.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like, I don't want to break it. They see it as like this delicate instrument or something, or if they touch it the wrong way, that they're going to mess it up, and then the whole universe will go into chaos.
Oh, yeah. Everyone will yell at them.
It's not now, okay?
Yeah, it depends. Even if you're the person looking through it for the first time, or the person, say, running that telescope for the first time, can be terrifying for both.
Yeah.
And so the goal is to just make it not scary.
So what do you do to make it not scary?
Oh, well, we do we have guides. We've made videos and guides and stuff for folks. We have training sessions and workshops on different topics for astronomy, introducing, helping to work with girls and other groups, kind of like helping to just break down concepts, making it a little easier to avoid the word salad and acronym just soup that you can often get it with astronomy.
Right.
Tactile things you can point to and touch. That makes it a lot easier. For example, one of our biggest demos, and I actually gave it away. Someone's going to make really good use of this. Okay. So if someone's going to make good use of a demo, we just give it to them, because that's the goal.
That's what you do.
But it was something called a yardstick eclipse. So if you remember the 2017 eclipse, you may have seen a lot of people with a yardstick and two balls at each end, a tiny little moon and it's pretty small, but an inch wide.
To demonstrate how an eclipse works,
both solar and lunar. It's very simple. It seems like it wouldn't work. But you could just use the sun or the point source of light, and it perfectly replicates a full shadow of the Earth's shadow over the moon.
That's very cool.
For a lunar eclipse, and then a little bitty bit of shadow that the moon casts on the surface of the Earth, and why. So you can see how it's only a few people can see a solar eclipse, but how everyone on one side of the Earth can see a lunar. It's beautifully simple, easy demo. You can even make it with stuff at home within minutes.
So who would use this? Teachers in schools?
Anyone doing it, teachers, parents, just folks that are out on the sidewalk astronomers, museum people. I've seen anyone even vaguely associated with astronomy, or even just parents have been using it.
Yeah, to teach their kids.
Because you don't need to buy anything, but we do offer them. You can buy, the ASP sells a few materials, but the Night Sky Network, the goal is you can get the materials if you report on your events and continue to publicize them.
I saw your booth over here. That we're at the Embassy Suites here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and there's the exhibitor room in there, and you guys had a number of things that looked like even maybe a coloring book or something.
Different books, and we have there's little cards with little spectra readers in there, so you can take a look at different colored lights and see,
I saw something that had different colors of filter gels or something.
A multi-wavelength astronomy demo. And it turns out all you really need for it is a few different colors of cellophane, and a few different colors of markers, and some plain white paper. So you can write a hidden message very easily with 3 different colors. You use these 3 different filters. It's I can't see everything, and it's a demo of how different filters can help bring out more of the universe. But it also includes a QR code that you can just turn your phone into the same thing, because a lot of people might not have paper cellophane around. Everyone's got a phone nowadays.
Right.
So you can your camera turns into the filter.
Right.
And then you can do the universe demo, or the multi-wavelength astronomy demo that way.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. So, I know that Night Sky Network also has a great website. They post events going on all over the country. But Night Sky Network is also not only tied to amateur astronomy clubs, but they're tied into NASA. What's that relationship?
So it was it's co-run by NASA JPL, technically the NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and the Astronomical Society of the Pacific. We are develop the materials, the different, we call them toolkits that has stuff like the yardstick eclipse and the multi-wavelength demo and stuff like that. We host these monthly webinars and stuff too. We do all that sort of work, the back end. JPL helps provide the computing resources. They host the web server. Give us a budget to pay for the very expensive developers. Thank you very much.
Yes.
we also have just connection. They give us goodies a lot of the time. But we do also have like there's certain themes around certain years, missions. So we do also go with NASA, NASA's missions and plans and all that, which also is no longer terrifying. But they have a very thorough product editorial review. So the first few times that I got to update our materials, I didn't get to make them whole cloths when I first started. But when I got to update, I'm like, is this okay?
We'll see, Mr. Prosper. That's right.
Yeah, but it's very fun, but it can be a little. It's no longer intimidating. But yeah, there is a quality check there, which is actually really great.
Sure. I joined NASA Solar System Ambassadors, and I remember that there was a whole training on how we should present ourselves, how we could talk about NASA. I mean, we're not allowed to use like what they call the NASA meatball.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Can't use that. So there's some protocols in place, which is important. But what a venerable organization, and so many amazing outreach resources from NASA. So it's really my go-to deal. Even if I wasn't a NASA Solar System Ambassador or affiliate with Night Sky Network, I'd be looking towards NASA for video content and that stuff that they do.
And we have a lot of material available for free just on the Night Sky Network website. People are looking, asking where can we buy it, whatever. We explicitly try to make most of ours. Just download it, like they're printable. Everything, we have some PDF format. Even we have these huge banners made out of vinyl. And you can absolutely get those printed either online or at a print shop. Sometimes these not quite as large as this, pretty large, like $20-$30.
Yeah.
Grommets installed and everything so you can hang them up. But yeah, it's all available just to download. You can alter it and everything. And the other thing with the Night Sky Network is it's NASA affiliated.
Yeah.
But the member clubs, as long as they're doing their outreach, doing a good job, they don't have to worry about hewing exactly to all of the NASA things quite as much as a solar system ambassador. Yeah. Now, if we hear about anyone having some bad behavior, we have to do some stuff.
You have to deal with it.
But thankfully, we've never really had to. Everyone's super great because we're talking about
great community.
It's a great community. I also just want to make sure because we were talking about keeping things intimidating. So we were do something with NASA with the Night Sky Network. It's like just present the universe and we'll help you. It's all good.
That's right.
Because it's a constant learning process.
There's no problems with if you mess up. They're not going to shoot you in a cannon into space.
Absolutely. You can wear your NASA shirt when you're presenting your telescope. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So, what's the onboarding process for? Let's say that you have an astronomy club. Because I was talking to young Connell Richards, who started.
He's great.
He started a high school astronomy club, right? But let's say that he wanted it to be part of Night Sky Network. What would he have had to do that?
So, the trick is when you join, we do have some back-end considerations. Yeah. The number one is just making sure the club is what's called viable. It's got some longevity. So we ask that it's been open for at least 2 years. Okay. That you've been doing events in those 2 years. Preferably, you've got some kind of like officer system set up because that provides continuity. That's built in generally. Yeah. If it's a college or high school club, it's a little extra stringent just because of the sometimes chaotic nature of that. But as long as people graduate,
right? They graduate and they go on. They're not doing that.
But if they have an advisor on staff, then
they're good to go.
Have 2 years. Got an advisor, and
So the hurdle's not real high.
Super high, but there is we don't automatically make your club for you because sometimes people go, "Oh, we're starting a club and we want Night Sky Network to help us do it." And we want to.
Right, you don't make a club.
We'll give you materials, and you're welcome to download stuff. So people can message us and be like, "Well, we can't admit you just yet. It is also a NASA requirement." And I'm a very you could get me to do a lot of stuff just by asking.
Just ask.
Just ask.
All right. So all you guys out there watching,
I have to be sort of rulesy, but I can bend the rules. I come from a family of bent rules. It's all good.
Bent rules.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's the requirement is basically just. Your club is established, some continuity. We can't make your club a success, but we can help you build towards a successful club.
Right. Yeah. You guys offer club members a portal to announce their events, right? So you have a big calendar. I was involved with the International Observe the Moon Night. We did that program, which was a lot of fun. What else does Night Sky Network do, like regularly or annually? Do they have special programs?
We've got webinars every month usually with a NASA scientist or a NASA affiliated program.
Okay.
Or once in a while I think we have like sort of a minimum. It's not stated, but we try to get at least 10 NASA people, and then we can kind of have one or two like fun extras. Maybe someone from the ESA or just a really cool amateur astronomer person that's done some interesting work.
Sure.
But and also we have enrichment webinars that we try to do on a semi-regular basis. It's usually every summer they come up, but they have like some extra. It's more outreach focused generally, or maybe it's club focused. We also have an annual outreach award pin program.
Oh, wow.
And so it's fun. I get to make them.
Cool.
And they're these little, just little pins,
Yeah.
There's a new one every year celebrating something with the design, something that's happened in the past year. So usually it's going to be NASA themed with the association. So,
Okay.
we've had, last year was Perseverance and Ingenuity. They were featured on the pin.
Oh, that's neat.
What about before? I think we had the Comet, which was a lot of fun. I'm not going to say what it is this year,
No.
but honestly, it's kind of obvious.
Okay.
But
Yeah, right.
we all know I'm getting the design sent. The nice part about working right next to Vivian right now, because we work remotely apart from
Okay.
each other,
Right.
I could just show her the draft design that I made, and then she's like, perfect.
She just races the
It's like all good stuff. That's coming in August. Look in August if you want to know about the secret pin.
Vivian, that he's talking about is Vivian White. She's been on some of our programs before, but she's absolutely fabulous. I've watched her in action too. She'll wear like
Crazy
beautiful hats and stuff, and she makes it fun. And I think that also makes the approach to space exploration and astronomy science a lot more approachable and less scary. So,
Yeah.
and so. What do you guys? What's coming ahead? What do you think that Night Sky Network will evolve to?
We're working on it. We're always kind of working on it.
Okay.
We do want to. We're always. The website's almost 20 years old. It's
Okay.
gone through some revisions, so it's not the same as 20 years ago, but
Sure.
it does need a little bit of work. There's a project at NASA to update some stuff, so we're trying to make it a more accessible portal. We want to be able to, make it easier to integrate in whatever your club uses too. Because when it first started, there wasn't a lot of options for. We have a club. What do we organize with? What's our software? How do we make a web page? This was like 2003, so it's like 2003 web page. You could make one, but if you want to do more advanced stuff on it,
Right.
it kind of gets difficult pretty fast. So that was the goal then. Stuff has changed a lot since then.
Oh yeah.
So
Internet changes all the time.
It's great when you can see people in person, so we can ask what they want. So we're trying to figure out how to make the roster management for members a little better. We want to make the email system a little more robust. Calendar always to integrate with other people's
see.
calendars, that kind of thing.
see.
But that's on the web, the software side. We want to do a lot more. We want to update some of our old kits. Similar to software,
Okay.
knowledge can get out of date as well.
Sure.
And we have some astronomy toolkits now about supernovas or exoplanets that are getting on 15 to 20 years.
Right.
Supernovas, we have a kit that's
Right.
supernova
With all
kit.
I think that we're like living in this golden age of astronomy, and there's new discoveries all the time.
And the new
you know?
discoveries are amazing,
Yeah.
except if you're in charge of having to update the numbers
That's
in
right.
something
Yeah.
that talks about the
Age
discoveries.
of the universe is not. The Hubble constant is not exactly that.
So for exoplanets in particular, that was the first thing we did. The Planet Quest program, which was involved with Kepler, the Kepler mission, detecting transiting exoplanets. That was our first thing. So when I first got there, Vivian's like, ooh, you can update the numbers in this. And if you followed the Kepler or test missions at all, you know that they go up quite frequently.
Yeah.
And that was very funny. And now it's just, we just need to do a whole new exoplanet kit. We want to update our meteorite kit. That's what everyone asks about.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few that we really want to do.
Yeah, and I can only imagine once we start detecting, once we start doing a lot more work in spectrally analyzing exoplanet atmospheres,
Oh yeah.
that is going to change a lot of things, So
That one super quick one they did with Webb,
right,
already incredible. There was the joke that the Webb was that one picture was the one no one cared about. That was just the spectra detection.
Yeah.
It was like one of the most important ones that
Right.
it did. But that's also one of the things we like to do with the Night Sky Network. Since we
Sure.
started with trying to explain transiting exoplanets and like
Right.
just like a light curve and getting you excited about a little,
Yeah, yeah.
we're trying to make something that might not seem as exciting or accessible and turn it into something really cool.
Right.
So we also would partner with, we try to bring people to citizen science programs with NASA and other folks. Engagement, we're always seeking other partners and stuff to try to bring members new
What are the
information.
main partners, aside from astronomy clubs, with Night Sky Network?
So we've got some like loosely affiliated folks, depending on unofficial partners and official, like NASA, ASP, obviously. We've worked with the SETI Institute quite a bit.
Okay.
Individual NASA programs we also worked with, but now we kind of have a more unified approach. Sophia we had done a lot of work with,
Right.
for example, which is now being retired, I believe.
Yeah, this is kind of sad, huh?
Yeah, and Astronomical League, obviously.
Right.
And we've been uploading a lot of the star charts that John Goss makes every month.
Oh, nice.
We've been posting those on our page.
Right.
Like we're a little bit of work with Rask, which is fun.
Okay.
Always love working with Rask.
RASC is the
But we haven't done any
Royal
official back and forth.
Astronomical Society of Canada, right?
Yes,
So-
thank you.
Right.
Acronym soup.
That's right.
But they
right.
had some interest in high school clubs, and it's interesting because we've had some challenges with high school clubs, and so they were programmed to get more people involved, younger
Right.
people, and get the
High
club
school
set up.
clubs can rapidly change. I mean, you see them kind of start for like it'll be like a 10th grader or an 11th grader, and then by senior, boom, he's out. So it's a very kind of short window.
But another thing with that is trying to make the Night Sky Network, the program itself,
Yeah.
a little more responsive. If we can because everything changes so rapidly, if we're
Yeah.
looking at ways to kind of keep ourselves nimble. One interesting thing from me now living on the other side of the country from my boss is we can actually split up the country for like visiting star parties, clubs, visiting conventions and stuff.
Sure.
So it actually helps us distribute the resources. So there's stuff that we couldn't really go to before. Visiting NEAF was kind of always an adventure, but at least it's a San Francisco to New York flight, not bad. But going down to say the Winter Star Party, super hard.
Yeah.
But now, not too bad. I'm in New York State. That is like a normal thing. That is like almost
you live in
required
New
by
York State
law.
now.
New Yorkers always have to go to Florida. Like it's like a thing.
The snowbirds. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that's great. Well, we'll see you probably at the next Winter Star Party.
Oh, I'm hoping to. That's been on the books. It's been floated. I can't promise just yet, but is it back in the Key West?
Key West. Yeah, it is kind of a little bit too fun, to be called work, but
It's
it is.
you gotta ship work materials out.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and Winter Star Party is a really great Star Party. You'll love it. Have you been before?
I haven't been that one
You're
yet.
gonna love it. You're just gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, the spot where it's at, the marathon and Key West and stuff. Great restaurants, lots of stuff to do. Beautiful landscapes and stuff. Even if you're not into astronomy, just to be there to take photographs of the sunrises and sunsets, which just means you have to turn the camera to see beach views on either side. It's amazing. So you're gonna love that. What did you guys do here at ALCON in particular? I mean, you had your booth. Was there any special program? Did you give a talk, for example?
Oh, this time around we weren't able to fit into a talk.
Okay.
We often usually do a catch-up. For me, I often do a What's New at the Night Sky Network catch-up every year. We have Vivian actually worked a lot with the Big Astronomy program. It was a planetarium show that was also had an outreach component with the Astronomers in Chile program. And it's about the giant observatories that are being built now.
Oh, right.
Why they're being built, why they're placed where they are. So there's a light pollution component, but it's also very much about the people behind the science. So it's also like, what else you can do? Like
you
don't.
Not only the people behind the science, but the people behind the scientists, right?
Exactly.
The people who serve the food, to driving the trucks, to everything.
Yeah, like there's even like there's like technical jobs you can get that don't require you doing astronomy at all, but you get to hang out in the telescope.
Right.
You need people to do stuff in there. The astronomers don't actually get to play with the
They
telescope.
do not,
So
that's
if
right.
you just like working with the telescope, guess what? You don't need an astronomy PhD.
Right.
You just have to be fine working in extremely cold weather.
At
So
very high altitude.
that's what they don't tell you. Yeah, you are working on like a rope with like an oxygen mask and stuff, but that's what people don't know.
Sure.
And it's not just you don't have to do a daring thing. You can just be like, oh, I'm like the guy that drives the bus up and down the mountain every day, because that's something no one understands. It's like, oh no, like in Hawaii, there's snow on the top of it sometimes, on top of where the telescopes
Absolutely.
are. There's a long drive from the bottom to the top, even if on a map it looks like this. Practically, you're driving like this.
Yeah.
So we had a special showing in a portable planetarium yesterday for some folks. An impromptu.
Does Night Sky Network do planetarium shows?
We don't actually do planetarium shows, but this was another partnership with the Astronomers of Chile program, basically.
Okay.
And so that was developed. We got to develop materials to give to clubs via our involvement with the program. And Vivian, my boss, was very heavily involved with that. And that actually stemmed from her just doing the Astronomy in Chile program. And then people just literally were talking like, we should do an outreach thing. What would we do? And that's how it happened.
So is Night Sky Network, since it's a NASA program, is it just for USA-based
It
clubs?
is U.S. and all territories. So yeah, if you're in Guam, say
Puerto Rico,
exactly, the American Virgin Islands,
Sure.
etc. Yes,
Sure.
Absolutely. And there's a couple Puerto Rican clubs that are amazing. They do great work, and they're also a little more to the south than everyone. So they get to have like really cool pictures of like zero shadow days and stuff like that. We don't get zero shadow days up north, especially where I am.
Right.
But they do, and it's so cool.
Interesting. Well, great. So if people want to learn more about Night Sky Network, where do they go?
Just look up NASA Night Sky Network.
Just
You can find us at
search
NASA Night Sky Network on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook.
Okay.
YouTube has all of our old webinars with NASA folks, and it has our training videos as well. We have newer ones that are talking about just different audiences in astronomy, keeping it more open and engaging, avoiding some faux pas that you can easily slip into. We develop them, and occasionally we'll catch ourselves doing it,
Sure.
but that helps you go, "Oop, there we go." We have just for old toolkits. We have videos too, and since some of the videos were made in 2003, they have what I've been told is a sort of Mr. Wizard feel to them.
Okay.
It was like an old educational show from the 70s, 80s.
The Night Sky Network made, or
Yeah, we made them all, so you can see my bosses in it, all of my old bosses, and I'm not in them. I'm in maybe the very newest ones, but but we have them all there because if you're interested in, they're still great though because they have like wonderful content about how to present, working with audiences, what we have in the kits. And you can also just find us, of course, on the web.
Sure.
Nightsky.org or the official URL, which is nightsky.jpl.nasa.gov. I'll just say this. If you're looking up, if you Google or Bing or whatever, Night Sky Network, there's two that people mix up. There's one that looks like it's for robotic telescopes and for live streaming your telescopes.
Okay.
It's not us, and we're not affiliated with them.
Okay.
It looks like a lot of fun, seemed great.
Yeah.
But that's the Night Skies Network.
Skies.
And we're the Night Sky Singular Network.
I see.
So there you go. In case you get confused.
Don't get it mixed up.
Once in a while, we get asked just often enough about like someone's stream setting or a show, and I'm like, you mean? But now in this world of more virtual meetings, once in a while, it's like I have to take an extra minute. Are they asking about the Night Skies Network, or is a club doing a streaming event right now? But since I'm the admin, I can look and see real quick.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Dave, for
Thank you so
coming
much,
on
Scott.
to our program today.
Mhm.
I imagine you guys will be at next year's ALCON, you think?
Oh yeah, we've already been invited. We'll be speaking. It's going to be quite
Awesome.
some fun. Quite
Okay.
fun.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Baton
Well,
Rouge.
check into Night Sky Network, and we have. I want to mention that we also have more programming coming up here from the Astronomical League convention, live from Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. Yes, I always get mixed up.
ABQ.
That's right. Anyways, we will be back soon.
Clear
Thanks,
skies.
Dave. Thanks.
Thank you. That was fun, Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go eat that burrito.
Go eat your lunch now.